Hey everyone, I know it's not ideal to do a video while I'm driving, but I'm not looking at the camera. Even when I look at you, I'm still looking at the road. But I didn't want to go without doing a video today because this is also helping me keep myself on track. I have friends in town from France and we're going to brunch. Well, not going to, they're actually cooking brunch. And the Island family and I are all getting together with them. But I just wanted to touch on this because this is a real-time healing journal that I'm sharing with you. And I wanted to talk about last night for a minute because I got on stage and I was very apprehensive about it, which is not normal usually, but actually if you really think about it, or if I think about it, it is normal. I think that people have this perceived vision of musicians and entertainers where I think people assume we all love attention and we're all like these, spotlight seeking human beings. And for me, that just isn't true. In fact, if I go back on my journey of when I started performing in front of people, the only people that I wanted to perform in front of were my very close personal relationships. I never really desired to do that for strangers. And it wasn't until I made the connection of how impactful being a messenger as a singer was. And so I did love doing that for even if it were strangers. But the act and getting on stage and doing that was very hard on me. And I would choke. And I've been known to choke even on television shows in front of millions of people. And that being said, I have been on TV shows in front of millions of people. I think collectively I've been in front of almost 700 million people. That's a lot of people. And that's just a guess on the TV shows. I don't even know what it is when you add up the thousands and thousands of shows I've played my whole life. But there's not ever been one show where I jump on stage and I don't have that apprehensive feeling before I go on, because by nature I don't necessarily like all the attention, and that's why I like to push the attention on being vulnerable. And that's the only way that I've been able to get through my journey. And it can be hurtful when people are saying, there she goes, just posting again because she's seeking attention. And it's not that at all. I seek connection, and I know that my calling in life is being a messenger, and so that's simply what it is. This is also, as I've mentioned, this is also part of my job. It's part of how I make my income, and not necessarily yet online. That doesn't necessarily pay all my bills right now. Some of them, I guess. But I just wanted to share this with you because if you're in a healing journey, if you are on a healing journey, I want to share this with you because it's really important to get back to remembering what brings you joy. And what brings me joy is playing music, singing, writing, painting, and creating, and also having the support system go along with me. And sometimes you can't rely on that. So I'm very lucky that I have a few people in my life that are there for me and encouraging me to get back on stage. It has not been easy, and I haven't really organized my thoughts before recording this video, but I just felt the need to share this because really what I wanted to do is crawl into a hole and do my healing alone. And one of my close friends recently is going through a health journey that is very scary for them and life-threatening. When they uploaded a video back in December, it was very vulnerable, and it was about sharing their journey in their illness and then their healing. And this is a physical thing that they're going through that's really taking a toll on their life. And one of the things they said was that they wish that they had shared their journey along the way because they knew that they wouldn't have hidden in darkness and silence alone, and didn't want to go through the process alone. And this is something that you have to really balance carefully, but sometimes that means sharing your story with strangers. Sometimes that means sharing your story without expecting anything else to happen. And I think that there's a lot of people that get this confused with narcissistic behavior and people who are attention seeking. And you have to remember that anybody that is emotionally regulated and in their right mind does not want attention because they want people to give them sympathy. This has been something that I have really wanted to make sure people know about my journey. This is not about sympathy at all. This is about inspiring you to pull yourself out of that dark hole that you might want to crawl in. Because if you stay in there too long, you're going to fall into depression. And this is something that I refuse to do. And this is the first time in my life that I've ever handled a situation in this way. And it's working for me. It may not work for you to share your whole journey, but I do highly recommend journaling. And if you journal, that at least is sharing your journey with yourself and you're getting it out. And that means, even if that means that you want to put it away forever, maybe you want to tuck it away and share it with your kids one day, or maybe you just want this to be for yourself and you keep it locked somewhere. Or some people like to write their thoughts down and then they burn them and they destroy it afterwards as like a symbolic, okay, I'm letting that go and I've let it out now. And these videos for me, you know, it's so funny because like I used to think, oh my gosh, what if I only get like 100 views on a video? I genuinely just don't care, because I've learned that if there's just one person, and I've always felt this about music, so I feel the same way about these videos. If there's just one person out there that this could help, that's all that matters, because it's helping me. So if I can share this with somebody and it helps them, that's great. And you know what? Just like they say in some of the recovery programs I'm in, you know, take what fits for you and take what you like and what you want and leave the rest, because nobody's story is going to align exactly with yours, because we're all individuals. It's really important to remember that. When I had my friends by my side and I knew I had to push myself out in front of people, that's the last thing I wanted to do. Honestly, I honestly want to just like take a year off and disappear. But I know that that's going against everything that I was born to do. And so if you're feeling apprehensive about being vulnerable, I'm going to tell you something right now that will lead you into making the right choices. Once you get your value system into place and then you allow yourself to be vulnerable, that's when you're able to be your most authentic self. Being vulnerable does not mean getting walked on. Being vulnerable does not mean tolerating abuse. Being vulnerable does not mean believing somebody else's lies and letting them bully you. Being vulnerable means putting your realness, your authenticity out there. And even if it means out there from within, it doesn't mean that you have to make videos. It doesn't mean that you have to post it on the internet. It means that you're doing that for yourself, and it's up to you to decide who you want to share this with. So I hope that makes sense for you. And I really encourage you to do this because it has helped me, and I know that it's helped other people. And there are some comments that I'm seeing that, you know, these videos are helping people, which is why I'm still gonna upload this and put it out there, even though I really didn't have a lot of time today, because I think that helps us all stay on track a little bit. And if there are people out there that are not part of your support system, I understand how that feels, and we may not understand why that is, but you just have to trust that if you stay on track with yourself and what brings you joy, it's gonna be all right. And I know that last night when I played that show again after not playing for 2 months, and I was worried about my fingers because my calluses are not great right now. They're kind of soft. And my voice, I was getting tired at about the 2-hour mark. It was like when I had 1 more hour to go. But that stamina can be rebuilt. And this time that stamina is being rebuilt on healthy choices. This stamina is not being built on unhealed trauma and escapism. This is something that's very real. And so thank you for letting me share this today. And I really hope that you have a great day. And don't forget that you're not alone. I'm here with you, and you have yourself and you have the universe and you have all of that energy. And if you start being that energy and you start sharing that energy, even if it's not with words, you're going to start attracting people who are going to help lift you up. And this is where that special group that maybe you feel alone right now, but you're gonna find your people, find your vibe, find your tribe. Okay, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's very real. And don't think for a second that you're not worth that. Okay, your life is important. Life is a miracle. You know how rare it is for us to even be born? And if you don't, look it up. It's crazy. Like, I can't even say the number because it's so like far into the distance of how rare it is and how much of a miracle life is. So don't waste it, okay, if anything. let yourself feel good and let yourself feel vulnerable and push through, because once you do that, you're going to get to be the most authentic version of yourself, and it's going to upset people. But the people that is upsetting are the people that are uncomfortable with themselves and their own truth and authenticity. Don't let them push you off your track. All right? Have a great day, you guys. Much love. Mwah.